and that's what Portland's got to take to heart tonight. The Lakers will give you chances to score. It's been said about L.A. all year long, even when they've had big leads. They'll let you back in a game. So if you want to finish strong, then you go out with that idea in mind.
And the key to Portland's win last Tuesday, 8 days ago, was a quick start. Portland led 37-21 after the first quarter, led by as many as 18, and really just shot out of the gate and got the Lakers on their heels, and they never recovered.
You know, the Lakers are extremely talented with their starting lineup. Where the big concern for the Lakers this year is the inexperience coming off the bench and the role players. Rick Fox is injured again, so they don't know when he'll be back. They had Horace Grant. He is out. So they've got to rely on some guys that haven't been real playoff stars for them as they get ready for the playoffs.
You mentioned the Lakers have a chance to clinch the Pacific Division title. They need a win here as Zach gets the roll inside for Portland. The Lakers need a win, and they need a Sacramento loss tonight against Golden State, and the Lakers would win the Pacific Division title, which carries with it the number 2 seed. If they don't win tonight, or if Sacramento does win, you're looking at the Lakers in the number 4 seed. In the West, as Kobe Bryant offered his first shot, the rebound Theo Ratliff, as Bryant is still down, and now he's back up. Stoudemire had a chance at the 3, lobs to Ratliff, and he puts it in. And Bob Delaney is going to come down and move something down here where it talk to the Blazer dancers and move them down. That's who Kobe tripped over and landed in the middle of the Blazer dancers. I can think of worse ways to hit the floor. Here's Ratliff.
Damon was going to shoot a 3, then decided not to, and this is what allowed him to find Theo Ratliff right at the rim. And you love to have broken plays like that. And again, the most dangerous place on the floor, if you're an offensive player, is around the basket.
Here's Shaquille O'Neal inside against Theo Ratliff, and Shaq does not get the roll. The rebound finally speared by Zach Randolph. Darius Miles from 15. Portland has shot 48% from the field against the Lakers this season. They shot 50% 8 days ago, and they're off to the hot shooting start here tonight.
What they don't do well early is involve Karl Malone in the offense. He just broke down in the low post. He was wide open, didn't get it. Kobe Bryant gets him on the scoreboard.
Kobe last night, 45 points as Darius Miles flies in transition and leaves the basket, the shot short, and then falls down among his Blazer teammates, and the Lakers back the other way with numbers. Devin George for 3. That's well short. The rebound snared by Shaquille O'Neal, and he puts it up and in over the top of Theo Ratliff. Stoudemire to Miles. Darius down the lane, lays it in.
Well, Jackson was going to wonder, is anybody guarding? There was nobody that moved when Miles made his move and sliced for an easy 2.
Kobe tries baseline. Crowd trying to talk Shaq into taking that 3-point attempt. Kobe hits again. Bryant had 45 points last night against Golden State. 14 of 29 shooting, 17 for 18 at the free throw line was Kobe last night.
Well, one of the reasons I said Kobe Bryant is one of the keys to this game is because so much talk was made on Sunday about how he wasn't involved in the game and he didn't care. He was pouting. Zach Randolph with that one. He's got a lot of pride. He likes to win, and he'll be looking to back up the number that he threw down last night just to let him know that he's for real. He's legit. Karl Malone with a miss.
Rebound to Shaq. He tried to give it to Payton, and Stoudemire stepped in front for Portland. And you mentioned the Sacramento game for Bryant. It wasn't only as a lob to Miles. He jams! Reverse style from Stoudemire.
And the difference between what the Lakers do to Portland and what San Antonio does is they let Portland see the floor. They let them make plays like that. San Antonio is all over Damon Stoudemire. He can't see Darius Miles firing off to the rim, and Phil Jackson wants 20.
20-second timeout. Lakers. Blazers out to the quick start. They lead it by 6. And to finish the point, as we see the lob from Stoudemire to Miles.
And the only way you can make a play like that is to have that kind of vision, that kind of freedom. Nobody is close to Damon Stoudemire, so quite naturally the results are going to be damaging, and it's a little showtime in reverse.
And you mentioned the Lakers wondering if anyone is guarding Darius Miles as you take a look at the Western Conference standings.
I mean, they're still tight. There's a lot to play for the top 4 clubs, and San Antonio, Sacramento, they want to be the ones that have the division titles in their bag. Minnesota, they got a game tonight, and they're thinking if they can win tonight, and #1 all the way through.
So a Laker win and a Sacramento loss tonight would mean LA and Houston would play on Saturday in game 1 as Kobe Bryant quick with the 3 right out of the timeout. That's off. Rebound kept alive by Karl Malone. Kobe down the middle, and he is fouled. He'll shoot free throws.
And the way you get big numbers like Kobe had last night is free throws. And as you mentioned, 17 of 18. That is a lot of fouling as Bryant attacks, and Darius Miles trying to rip that ball away, gets caught.
In that game Sunday against Sacramento, Kobe just 1 field goal attempt in the first half, and you mentioned the statement or whatever it was being made by Bryant, and it wasn't only offensively. Doug Christie had a field day on Kobe at Sacramento's end. Bryant not really playing much defense either.
Well, remember when Kobe came here early in the season, he didn't take a shot in the first quarter, but he ended up with 35 in the game. He's had a lot of games like that where he doesn't shoot. It's just that it went on and on and on, and so now after a series of bad games, they want to wonder whether he's making mistakes.
Zach tries it again over Karl Malone. Zach had the big advantage in that matchup last Tuesday, but this shot is off.
You know, Zach is normally sky high to play against the Lakers anyway, but he's getting to play against his idol, Karl Malone, and he would like to be a player like Karl Malone when his career is said and done. So Zach is putting in a little extra.
Shaq was there in pretty good position. Here's Miles in the open floor where he is just tough to stop, and he is fouled on this attempt. But he floats, and once he gets the ball over midcourt, it takes him about 1.5, 2 dribbles to get to the rim.
If there's a player that you would compare him to in terms of the ability to cover distance, it would be Dr. J. Dr. J had long loping strides, and he had some amazing finishes. And David Jones is saying, give me some help here, Shaq. The net is caught. We're going to have to fix that.
It's now Bob Delaney being asked for his opinion now.
They don't want to. What they don't want to do is have to delay the game and get a new net. So the thin man is pulling it back all around. There you go. In East St. Louis, they do that all the time.
Difference was Darius had to jump up there. Shaq just simply reached up.
But Shaq didn't really want to fix it.
And Miles hits a pair.
If Miles wasn't ready against San Antonio, he's definitely ready against the Lakers tonight.
Darius 0 for 6 against the Spurs, no points, and was just kind of invisible out there tonight. 8 points here in the early going for Miles. Here's Gary Payton, spins on D.A. A little floater inside is off again. Rebound Anderson, Portland with numbers, 3-on-1. Stoudemire tried to lob to Miles, and it was tipped away by Kobe.
Well, Kobe knew that he was back there by himself, and he knew Miles was on the other side. It was going to be that kind of play. Good anticipation by him.
The Lakers can't cash in the turnover. Here's Anderson against Kobe. Gets the step, and a non-shooting foul, excuse me, will be on the side. With the foul to Kobe, his first. Two team fouls on the Lakers. Stoudemire, a terrific game in LA last Tuesday. 10 of 17, 4 of 7 from beyond the arc. Ratliff. Darius again. This one a perimeter jumper and off, and the rebound to Shaquille O'Neal. Out of bounds off of Darius Miles. The Lakers have lost 6 in a row here in this building. Their last win in Portland was on opening night, October 1st, 2000. And it's been a home-and-home series, and Portland finally broke through, of course, last Tuesday in L.A. and got that victory.
Well, they're doubling Kobe right now. Not a good position for Theo Ratliff. Anytime Shaq can catch the ball like that, he's going to be overpowering, and that's just what happened. Best thing to do is get out of the way.
Shaquille O'Neal in the last meeting last Tuesday only took 11 shots, 7 for 11, 17 points. We've got a guy that can do that. Won wonders.
Well, they never could slow the game down. I mean, when the pace of the game is quick, what they do is forget about Shaq. And they've always had games where they just kind of forgotten about him. Everybody's running up and down trying to get some. Shaq's going to be the last guy back.
Traveled with the ball, but missed the shot anyway. As Zach hands it off to Stoudemire. Here comes Portland with numbers. Miles down the right side finds Theo and wants no part of that lane and takes the jumper and hits. Blazers by 7.
I mean, every team knows that if you run against the Lakers, you expose them. What the Lakers are very good at is controlling you in a half court. That's the way the Phil Jackson teams have won championships. Did it with Jordan and Pippen, has done it with Bryant and O'Neal.
Kobe the jumper over Miles. It's well off to the right. Devin George, though, hustles down the rebound. Karl Malone inside, shot blocked, but a foul called. And I believe this will go on Zach Randolph down low this game. Karl Malone at the free throw line. We mentioned earlier that when we're talking about Gary Payton, things have not always gone as planned this season. Karl Malone at times has seemed bothered by the constant drama in L.A.
Well, you know, Karl Malone has been used to a more serene Salt Lake City. And he has been...
It is that.
He has been the drama in Salt Lake City, and it plays differently in L.A., and particularly when you're a big player.
Blazer lead is 5. Here's Ratliff, left block. Damon goes past Payton, finds Miles. He takes another 18-footer, uses glass. Rebound, Zach Randolph missed the putback, but Ratliff has his back and tips it in. Blazers aggressive on the offensive boards.
And you can see from Portland's body language, they feel confident playing against the Lakers. They think there's some things they can do against this team that they couldn't do against others. And it just radiates throughout the building.
Darius Miles tipped that ball out of bounds, so 10 to shoot for the Lakers. Devin George, bullet pass to Payton, right back to George, thought about the 3, now pulls up from 10 and hits. Devin George starting right now, getting about 24 minutes. Rick Fox, as you mentioned earlier, dislocated right thumb. They will have him on the playoff roster, they say. But certainly not healthy right now.
Well, he's a very dangerous player in the sense that he's going to do whatever it takes to make the system work. He usually takes the best offensive player and finds a way to aggravate them more than anything else. I mean, you can score on Rick Fox, but by the end of the day, you know, he's gotten to you emotionally. That's what he wants.
Payton misses the spinner inside, and the rebound claimed by Zach Randolph. Zach 4 rebounds already in the game.
The triple post is not designed for quick early offense. I mean, they're either going to get a break or they're going to get nothing. Miles from the outside.
Darius Miles very aggressive, looking for that outside shot. Miles, since joining Portland, is shooting about 54%. And if he can consistently knock down the 15 to 18-footer, what a weapon. Not that he isn't already a heck of a weapon, and what a paycheck after the season as he is a free agent. Shaq double team.
4 on the clock.
Cross court to George. His 3 at the shot clock buzzer goes off balance. Anderson shovels to Stoudemire. He had to put it up high, and it rolls out as Damon hit the hardwood, and here come the Lakers. Payton all the way to the rack, over the top. Ratcliffe affected that shot, and the rebound to Zach. Randolph says, I'll handle the ball on the open floor.
You know, Zach knows one thing. Get it to the rim. Miles with the rebound.
Darius again. Miles with 12 in the game leads all scorers. And Phil Jackson and the Lakers want timeout.
Undoubtedly, they're watching tonight.
Slava Medvedenko in the game now for Los Angeles. Bryant wide open baseline. His high arcer is off. Karl Malone, the offensive board, out to Devin George.
Well, Shaq is out of the ball game right now, so that means most of the offense is going to revolve around Kobe Bryant. He's given a couple of guys chances. Portland not rebounding the ball, and the Lakers get a third crack at it.
Well, finally, Derek Fisher hits out top as he has checked in. L.A. now 7 for 21 in the ball game, but getting the offensive rebounds like that with Shaquille O'Neal out doesn't matter. Zach squaring up on Malone. Takes the jumper over Karl and is fouled by Malone, so Zach will shoot 2 free throws.
One thing Malone doesn't do well is guard people out on the perimeter. He is great with his hands. He always has been, particularly in the deep post where guys get the ball. He strips the ball. He's still got the quickest hands of any big guy to ever play. But when he has to dance with his feet, he doesn't know all the steps.
Well, Zach Randolph tonight needs 15 points to end the season, averaging over 20 points a game. And if he does that, Zach will be the first Blazer since 81-82 to average 20 points and 10 rebounds. The last man to do it is right there on your right, Michael Thompson, back in 81-82. Zach misses 2 here.
Probably got some of that Bahamian jinx on him then.
I think he does. And by the way, coincidentally, that is the last team to miss the playoffs. That team Thompson was on 81-82, so maybe it's not a good thing. Medvedenko takes a long jumper, and it's up and over and out as Dan Dickau getting the early minutes here for Portland and giving Damon Stoudemire a break. The Blazers today activated rookie Travis Outlaw, and on the injured list they put Eddie Gill, who had been getting the backup minutes behind Damon.
The Lakers took Shaq out for one play. He's back in the ball game. So their lineup is Medvedenko, O'Neal, George. As we take a look at Travis Outlaw, who is hoping he'll get a chance to play tonight. Kobe Bryant and Derek Fisher. Portland answers with Dickau, Anderson, Miles, Raheem, and Dale Davis. They're going to try to go pick and roll and get the ball back to Raheem.
Sharif baseline, and it poked away by Kobe Bryant, but a foul called from behind. And that's Kobe's second foul, and that is the fifth Laker team foul. So that is free throws for Sharif Abdur-Rahim. But there's Anderson who scoops it up. Derek down low to Abdur-Rahim. Sharif fouled, and he will shoot free throws. So not exactly the way they drew it up, but it ends in free throws for Portland.
Nothing better than a broken play. That's what Portland had, because what Miles did was the right thing. Get the thing out of trouble, and as he tried to cross over, hit his knee, and then it was anybody's guess. Now, this used to be the best friend of Sharif. He used to get to the free throw line 9-10 times a night. And for him to get a couple of calls in a row, he's got to feel that they still remember. It's the end of the season, and maybe this is going to carry over to next year.
Devin George and Kobe Bryant leave the game. Kareem Rush and Luke Walton check in for the Lakers. As Sharif hits a pair. And the Blazer lead is 8. This is their largest lead of the game. And a good point total for Portland here in the first quarter. Of course, not the 37 they had last Tuesday after one in L.A.
Well, they're not getting as many layups tonight as they got. Shaq drops that one in.
Shaq with 6 points. Anderson gets it back from Dale Davis. His outside shot rims in. So DA's first attempt gets the kind roll. Shot clock is off as Luke Walton just does beat the 8-second count and now has it back. And Dickau out to guard Derek Fisher. They go down to Shaq. There's Luke Walton wide open underneath and flips it up and in.
Well, that's the one thing that Walton is good at, playing away from the ball and move right into the slot.
And Darius Miles.
Well deserved. 50 years in the business. We'll try to wring a little bit more time out of him somewhere along the line. We better set the lineup here. They got a bunch of people in the game that you don't know. Kareem Rush, who has done a great job for the Lakers, makes that shot. He's in the backcourt with Derek Fisher, Slava Medvedinko in the middle, Brian Cook and Luke Walton. Portland, Dickau, Davis, Anderson, Raheem, and Travis Outlaw.
And a double dribble called out top on Dan Dickau as he's incredulous as he glances to his right to wonder what exactly he did. Blazers by 4.
Know what he said? They never. Come on. Last game of the year, you're going to call that?
Blazers already, by the way, have more points than they did on Monday at halftime against San Antonio. Not to bring up bad memories and bad experiences. Here's Brian Cook.
But you brought it up.
I know. Cook short with the shot. Rebound by Outlaw as he nearly had the stat. I think they'll give him a rebound there. These kind of things are important to young guys.
Well, the fact that he's going to get to play and he's playing early in the ball game rather than late and when there's not much time as Dickau looks at the 3.
And knocks it down up top. They drop off and he bangs it home. So Dan now 8 of 18 from beyond the arc as a Blazer this season.
Well, the best thing that happened when Travis Outlaw went in the game, all of the veterans were clapping their hands. They were cheering for him. And that's really fun to see. They know how difficult this season has been for him to be on the sidelines for most of his, what he hoped was the beginning of his professional career. Anderson.
There was Outlaw standing wide open at 18 feet, thinking he was going to get a chance at that, but DA turned it back toward the hoop and spun it in. Luke Walton down low to Brian Cook. Here's Kareem Rush. His foul line jumper is good. It's just the second year for Rush out of Missouri. He gets about 17 minutes a game for the Lakers.
He's made some big shots for them this year. I mean, Kareem Rush is coming to his own. Travis Outlaw.
Outlaw cleans up the miss by Dale Davis in a big way. And look at the Blazer bench going crazy. Impressive. It's Rush back the other way.
Everybody in Mississippi had to be cheering for him on that one.
Derek Fisher putting on a display at the other end, and Brian Cook among 4 Blazers grabs the rebound and then misses the shot, and it's out of bounds to the Lakers with a new shot clock as Damon Stoudemire will check in for Dan Dickau. But look at this from the youngster.
Well, the one thing that he can do is jump, and this one is off. He catches it, and he's elevated so well, just throws it down with 2 hands. Another lineup change. Brian Cook goes out of the ball game. Shaq comes back in, so Jackson's shuffling his players in and out.
Medvedinko left open in the corner, hits, leaves the shot short and hits the top of the backboard with it, and Portland will have it with a 6-point lead.
As long as you have Medvedinko out on the floor, he's going to shoot. I mean, Phil Jackson has to yell at him a lot. The best thing about Slava, he's thick-skinned. He doesn't hear him. He figures, hey, if I'm out here, I'm going to keep shooting. And when you take me out, I'll still be thinking about shooting.
Dickau, another 3-pointer. This one's off. The rebound is Shaq. You think Ruben Patterson's ready to check in this game?
No, I think Ruben is a cheerleader tonight so far. I mean, he's been poised and clapping for everybody, but Kobe's not in the game. I don't think it matters. Shaq again inside.
As Ruben out in coach's position as he had a knee a moment ago, but he was up leading the cheers when the youngster Outlaw threw down the rebound jam. Here's Outlaw with it. Not bashful. Knocks down the 18-footer. And there's Patterson up in celebration.
You know what he's saying? Just for all of the times I sat and watched.
And that is a career high for Travis Outlaw. As the Lakers throw it away, Rush trying to get
Well, Kobe Bryant back in the ball game, and he will join Kareem Rush, Shaquille O'Neal, Slava Medvedenko, and Derek Fisher. Stoudemire back in, and he will lead Portland's attack with Raheem, Davis, Ferguson, and Outlaw.
They drop it down low to Abdur-Rahim. Shaq comes to help. Here's Outlaw again. This one's a little bit short out top.
He's got a lot of shots in him. He's got a lot of shots in him, and you know this is a long time coming for him. This is like an opening night debut for him.
Kobe trying to shake Des Ferguson. They kick it out top to Fisher. Now Kareem Rush has it for three. Rush is short with it. Damon tips the rebound to Abdur-Rahim as Ruben Patterson and Theo Ratliff will check in next whistle. First minutes for Patterson in this one. Damon, nice spin move to get some room against Fisher. Sharif. Dale Davis says, I'll pull it from 18 and leaves it short, but follows his own shot and keeps it alive and kicks it off of Medvedenko, who disagrees. Travis Outlaw will sit down. And Dale Davis will sit down. Patterson and Theo Ratliff in the game. Outlaw gets a nice hand. Outlaw was playing high school basketball this time last year. Or had just finished his high school career, I should say. Here's Stoudemire. Finds an open Ratliff. Theo takes the 10-footer and hits.
Well, tonight, for the first time all season, Ratliff has seen that jumper go in a couple of times. He's capable of making that shot, and if he improves and gets that shot down, that's a huge plus for the Trailblazers in the coming season.
Shaq down low. Yeah.
Again, the big problem for Theo in handling Shaq is he's just too big, and if you can't get him out of that paint, he's going to wear you out.
Shaq, the first Laker into double figures with 10. Here's Desmond Ferguson off the pick. They give it back to Raheem. Sharif. Offensive foul called on Sharif Abdur-Rahim. So just as we say, he got his first call in a Blazer uniform moments ago. Bob Delaney makes the offensive foul call. As holy cow.
Backing in, knocks the arm off, which you're not supposed to do, and will get it back and come back again. So he got away with it the first time. It's the second time he got caught. I think Sharif is much better when he turns and faces and makes a decision to go either left or right.
Medvedenko down the middle all the way inside. His shot was affected certainly by the presence of Theo Ratliff. He gets it back. Kobe. Patterson on him. Shaq on the right block just tries to power his way through Ratliff and puts it up and in.
You don't see that left hand very often with Shaq, but he showed it there. He does have it. 4-point game, and Portland wants a timeout.
5:48 left here in the first half. Lakers coming back behind his one three-pointer tonight. That courtesy of Dan Dickau off the Portland bench.
Patterson, Ferguson, Raheem, Ratliff, and Stoudemire. And the lineups have been changing almost on every timeout for both teams. Malone, Payton, O'Neal, Bryant, and Fisher for the Lakers. 4 on the clock.
The play was designed for Desmond Ferguson. They're waiting for him to clear several picks. And Kobe Bryant, or excuse me, Gary Payton was on Desmond Ferguson. And now Ferguson will get his chance to play Gary Payton. That's, I'm sure, only happened in video games in his house before. And now he gets his chances.
He killed.
Kobe for three. Off the mark. Rebound Stoudemire. You know, we see all these lineups for Portland and these players that don't normally play, and it's got a strange feeling, the game does, and I imagine for the Lakers it's got a strange feeling as well, as it's been a lot of fun here at the Rose Garden, but this game means a lot to the Lakers. Ferguson, a wide open three, perfect.
It only means a lot if Sacramento loses. You know, and I think they're taking the approach last game as Kobe gets a little hit from Ruben. One thing that Ferguson can do, he can shoot it deep, and if you give him a chance to get a good look at it, he's going to drop it in. He's out of the ball game, and Raheem as well as Miles and Zach Randolph come back in.
Ferguson 3 for 8 now from behind the arc in his young Blazer career.
Well, you just saw that both benches are involved in this game, and the reason for it are liberal doses of time and not a lot of tension. You know, it's the last game. What are you going to do, Coach? You're going to hold it against me all year long? Bryant, first two here in the second.
Blazer lead is 5. They have led throughout by as many as 8. Zach against Karl Malone. Darius Miles, the cutter. Nice pass down to Patterson. He scores and he's fouled. A good ball movement by Portland. It went inside to Miles, and he found Patterson on the baseline.
And you get him right inside, deep in the slot, and this is, you know, a very good place for a player to play if someone will throw him the ball, because the defense has a tendency to be looking out at whoever has the ball.
Ruben Long with the three-point attempt. Three-point play opportunity, that is. Blazer lead is 7. Here's Kobe. Gary Payton will take an occasional 3. This one's short, but he tracks down his own rebound.
One of the things that Portland hasn't done well tonight is rebound the ball. They've given the Lakers too many chances. Patterson and Miles out in the break. Didn't quite have control of it. Zach Randolph had an easy 2 on the other side.
Well, and Ruben was being hounded in the break by Gary Payton, and Ruben never really had a clean hold of that ball as well. So not a good executed 3-on-2 fast break by Portland. Here's Payton against Miles. Finds Karl Malone. That one off too. Patterson the rebound. Portland runs again. 3-on-3. Stoudemire had it poked away, got it back, and scores. Portland on top by 9. This their largest lead of the game. And Phil Jackson wants timeout, and he's not happy with his Laker troops. 3:13 left in the first half. Blazers on top by 9.
They're not facing the same kind of stifling defense. Maybe you say it's the last game of the season, but San Antonio is putting the wood to Denver right now. They're ahead by 20, 83-63, so they don't like anybody playing and scoring against them.
Popovich probably up, yelling on the bench, screaming at his players and keeping them tuned up. That was not great defense.
Well, out of the timeout, everybody went to sleep, and you know, that's what happens sometimes when you come out. You're thinking they're not really running the play. What's Shaq doing way out here? Nice pass from Karl Malone to the open Kobe Bryant.
Patterson tried to give it into Zach. Somehow Zach got it back. Challenges O'Neal, missed the lay-in. Karl Malone open. Blazers confused on defense, and Theo Ratliff trying to get somebody to go out on Karl Malone, and just like that, the lead is down to 5.
Well, that's the first field goal of the night for Karl Malone. He was 0 of 4 to that shot. Gary Payton has not made a field goal in this ball game yet.
Stoudemire working against Derek Fisher, who's hounding him. Damon now open on a Zach pick, drops it down. Fisher not happy about the pick applied by Zach Randolph. A little more like pass blocking than an actual set pick. But Payton all the way down the floor. Nobody stops ball, and he lays it in.
The last 3 possessions, the Trailblazers have not been awake or aware of what's going on with the guy with the ball, and they've had people scoring at will.
They call a carry on Stoudemire on top, but you see, and you talk about this a lot, but you see what happens when somebody decides to come out and pressure the ball. As you take a look at Karl Malone's shoes. Holy cow.
You don't want a pair?
No. I couldn't wear those. Bryant inside. His floater is in, and boy, take the ball right inside the Blazer defense right now. The doors are wide open.
Well, they've relaxed, and we'll find out whether they reinvigorate themselves at the defensive end, as it is now a three-point game. Looking for Miles.
Darius had the 12 quick points, been quiet since. Here's Zach. Damon with 5 to shoot, goes past Shaq. Throws it up, missed the shot. Ratliff the offensive board. Damon working left elbow, finds Patterson from 10 feet. That's long. Rebound kept alive by Ratliff again. Third opportunity for Portland. 45 seconds left first half. Zach turns on Karl Malone, now fades and hits. Foul called on Ruben Patterson as he was defending Shaq.
First in the last 2 minutes.
And that was the Blazers' foul to give. Shaq double team. Derek Fisher, an open look at a three, wouldn't take it. Now Payton does have a wide open look at a three and is short with it. Karl Malone the rebound, and he rolled his ankle. And he heads right to the locker room, it looks like, as Karl Malone is leaving the floor. And that is not what the Lakers need at this point, obviously.
Well, you never want to see anybody hurt, and Malone inside gets a good rebound position and comes down, and that right ankle goes out, and he knows it's not good. And
So the Blazers a final shot opportunity. 5 seconds left. Zach spins on Medvedenko. Tough shot. It's off. Patterson the rebound, and Patterson is fouled. Bob Delaney says before the horn. Gary Payton can't believe it.
On the floor.
Unless he says Patterson was going up to shoot, but you said he saw it on the floor.
Well,
Gary Payton is first in the last 2 minutes.
he was on the floor. It wouldn't matter. And Ruben is saying, you know, watch out now. I still got these.
So Portland's going to get the ball with .5 left, as that was the first foul in the last 2 minutes by the Lakers. And Patterson's trying to say I was shooting the ball. But you can catch and shoot with .5.
Ruben's still working on his free throws. He's trying to talk somebody into letting him have the free throws, and they're not. Normally, you wouldn't get that call.
Well, in this foul being called on the floor, not as painful as the last that is fresh in memory, certainly, of Blazer fans. They pass it into Miles, and he's short with the shot.
These games don't mean anything in terms of what we should have done. We can still be playing the first 2 rounds at home.
Lakers turn it over on their first possession. They go right back to work with Zach Randolph, and Slava Medvedenko gets the start for Karl Malone. So that a matchup Portland feels they can take advantage of. Zach Randolph against Medvedenko.
We did not get all of the scoreboard in on the Southwest Airlines, but there was a huge score between Atlanta and Boston, 137 to 132. Celtics winning that game as the Lakers and Kobe Bryant worked against the shot clock.
Kobe was going to try and draw the foul. Miles just stayed straight up, but now Shaq, the offensive board, flips it in. And that would be the 12th offensive rebound by the Lakers in this ballgame.
Well, that is the one thing that Portland has not really addressed and paid attention to. And Cheeks is up now telling these guys, come on, we got to do better. They're going to get a foul as Darius Miles was hit across the arm by Devin George.
Lakers foul, 34.
They give it to Shaquille O'Neal.
Devin George trying to take the foul. He's got an arm in the air. The Atlanta Hawks, unbelievable what they have done in changing philosophy as far as how they're going to play the game. And good for them. Zach fades and leaves it well short. Zach Randolph just 6 points right now. He needs 15 tonight to average 20 for the season.
But he's missed some of his favorite shots, you know, in close, and they've all been short. They hit the rim, which is very much unlike Zach. Shaq trying to jam that one in.
Shaq picks it up, puts it up. No, Ratliff affected that shot, and Portland gets it right back. Stoudemire thought about the three, blows past Bryant. Theo from 18. And Peyton the other way, 3-on-3. The cutter is Bryant. Ratliff affected the shot again. Here's DA up front with Zach Randolph. Zach spins to the rack. No! As Devin George was just trying to get a hold of him to foul him, and Zach spun and then missed the finger roll.
This is a tough night for Zach. He's had a lot of easy shots that would normally drop and nothing's going. Shaq tries another one across the middle. Last three hooks for Shaq have been anything but artful.
Derek Anderson, a quiet night shooting so far, misses that. His DA 2 for 2 before that shot. And this is not pretty to start the third. Devin George wide open for three. Medvedenko, the offensive board. Lost it on the way up, and it's too bad he was fouled down low because Theo Ratliff would have erased any shot attempt that deep, as Luke Walton will check in for Devin George for LA.
Devin George. Slava Medvedenko at the line, shooting 2.
Medvedenko 76% at the free throw line on the year, averaging about 21 minutes. Obviously that will go up if, pending the injury to Karl Malone, as they head into the playoffs. And the Lakers 24-7 since the All-Star break. That's the best record in the league since the break, and the big reason why, the return of Karl Malone, a healthy Karl Malone. So obviously they hoping that the ankle injury is not serious.
Well, Peyton and the Lakers have crawled to within 1 point and have gotten a lot more serious about trying to win this game. So let's see if Portland can respond. Ball knocked away from Theo Ratliff. I think the changing of the lineups kind of threw Portland off a little bit. Luke Walton turns it over, and Portland will get the ball back, and Portland wants a timeout.
We'll take the break. 8:38 left in the third. Lakers quick out of the locker room to start the second half. They trail only by 1.
Enjoy your golf, and thanks for all you've done for both the Blazers and the NBA.
Well, that's high praise, but put properly, because George Wash is the gold standard.
3-point game as Darius Miles scored for Portland out of the timeout. Luke Walton in the corner.
Well, Luke Walton rarely shoots. He likes to pass.
Shaq knew Theo Ratliff was lurking. Here's Zach running the floor with the catch and the bubble, and a pushing foul on Shaquille O'Neal as Zach was went into the standard. That's 3 fouls on Shaq.
It's a good pass ahead, and Shaq may not have had to the collision there. He just couldn't stop. Got him with that famous lower body that big men like to play with. They love to give you the hip, and that nudge shows you just how strong Shaq is.
Darius Miles, the shot over Luke Walton, and that's well off, and Darius knew it when he threw it up. He tried to chase down the offensive rebound, but it went long. And here's Kobe Bryant against DA. They go to Luke Walton. Medvedenko turns on Randolph. Leaves it short. The rebound to Ratliff. Portland looks to run again. This game has slowed down here in the third. Zach traveled with the ball as Kobe came to attempt to steal, and just as Zach was going to step through, he failed to dribble the ball, and normal times that's travel. Four to 2, the Lakers lead the third quarter. And we're 5 minutes in.
Yeah, there's been a very relaxed attitude about the play, and then the fact that you can't make shots seems to be the big story for the Lakers. They have not been able to make any shots when they've been wide open.
Zach down the middle. David Stoudemire was floating wide open for three, and Zach took a difficult shot instead and made it. And to that, Stoudemire just bent over at the hip and laughed and went and slapped Zach 5.
He stole the pass. Number one in the paint, Zach Randolph, and that's a major accomplishment in his third season. How much he's grown and how much respect the rest of the league has given him.
Shaq fouled down low from behind Zach Randolph, and from the front by Darius Miles. They're going to give the foul to Zach. That's his second foul. That'll send Shaquille O'Neal to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Lakers 28th in the league in free throw shooting. The only team worse is San Antonio. That's part of the reason why.
Well, you know, Shaq is a very bad free thrower, but he can be unusually tough when games mean something. Jackson is reeling his troops in right now, and he said he wants a 20-second timeout. I'm not happy with what I'm seeing out here, guys.
He's trying to tell his team what this game means potentially to them. As they trail Portland by 6, they have trailed throughout. Portland's biggest lead, 9.
Well, what he wants to see is guys playing hard. This is not the end of their season, and you don't want any bad habits creeping in. And you know, you say it, and you think, well, you're dramatizing things. That this is no big deal. They know how to play when it means something, but they're not playing well now. If you were to go back in their 12-game winning streak, about 5 of those games at the beginning of the streak, they weren't playing well. Then they got into a real good rhythm, let's say from 5 to 10, where they were playing well and really controlling their opponent, doing what they wanted, lose a game, and they've fallen off of that.
He misses a pair, but LA gets the offensive rebound.
Portland normally a better rebounding team.
Offensive foul. Shaquille O'Neal were going the other way as he lowered the shoulder and went through Theo Ratliff. 4 fouls on Shaq.
Well, Shaq upset about the free throws, but he comes in, and that's his normal play. Most of the times he gets that call, and he's back at the free throw line. So Shaq may be having some off-colored language again in his post-conference remarks.
We won't be talking to him. DA, a nice move on Kobe. Spins to the rack and lays it up. No. Rebound Shaq. What a move by DA. Medvedenko, low block, left side. Here's Walton. Payton down to Medvedenko. 5 to shoot. Walton pulls the trigger on a 3 and misses it well left, and the rebound to Zach Randolph.
Well, this is the period in which Portland could put this ball game away. You know, both teams are kind of relaxed. They don't seem to really be focused on winning the game, but just playing the game. Lakers have not shot the ball well here in the quarter. 2 field goals. Portland not much better as Derek Anderson goes to the line.
Derek Anderson's first trip to the free throw line tonight. DA just 2 of 3 from the field tonight and rims the first in. Well, and you mentioned the Lakers a moment ago and their struggles. They have lost 3 of 5. And Monday night we talked about Portland, of course, their playoff streak ending at 21 straight years. Utah's on the same night ended at 20 years. Well, the next longest streak in the NBA was and now is the Lakers with 10 in a row.
The one thing that Luke Walton's got to do is be more assertive at the offensive end as Theo Ratliff gobbles up that rebound.
They get it ahead to Miles. Darius fades from 10. No. Rebound tipped around and finally yanked down by Shaq. Darius was dropping that shot earlier in the game. Medvedenko traveled down low, and Bob Delaney, the traveling man, makes the call. Blazers got the lead back to 8. Lakers had it whittled down to 1. Lakers have never led in this game. Stoudemire inside, leans and rattles it out. Shaq pulls down the board, his 10th.
How many shots tonight have gone in and out for both teams?
Medvedenko down the middle. Ratliff came and affected the shot. Here's Zach running the 3-on-3. Laker bench wanted to travel on Stoudemire. May have had a case. Here's Zach, baseline off the glass, no. Got his own back, and then it's blocked out of bounds. Zach feeling he was fouled, and for the first time into the game for Portland comes Quintel Woods. And he will replace Derek Anderson. Sharif Abdur-Rahim is right behind Quintel. He will get Zach Randolph.
If Zach needed 15 points, and with the shots that he has gotten tonight, you would say that would have been the easiest 15, and he is missing everything. Shaquille O'Neal out of the ball game. Brian Cook in. Payton comes out, so the Lakers lineup is Medvedenko, Cook, and Walton on the front line. Fisher and Kobe Bryant in the back court. Quintel Woods off the bench and in the net. Quintel said, "I'm the last to get in. I'll be doggone if I'm not going to get a shot up."
Kobe top of the key over Quintel, or excuse me, over Darius Miles hits.
Portland's lineup is Ratliff, Rahim, and Miles up front. Quintel Woods and Damon Stoudemire in the back court.
Sharif working against Medvedenko, gets him in the air, fades and missed the shot. Rebound, Ratliff battling for it, and it's picked up by Kobe. Kobe got Miles in the air. Darius didn't hit him again, though. Second time this game we've seen that same exact play. Darius with the great body control.
Well, that play is the one that started the shoulder problems for Kobe Bryant. That pump fake, which is a great thing to do.
Tipped out of bounds. Portland ball 9 to shoot.
But if he leans in and he lands on the shoulder, and that thing is out of whack.
And the Lakers have already lost Karl Malone tonight. If he joined us late, rolled his ankle and has not rejoined the team on the bench.
Malone is certainly he's finished for tonight. Woods again.
Ball was caught by Miles. His shot spins in and out. So another one.
Portland's percentage is plummeting now. They're down to 42%. They've been over 50 for most of the night. Bryant again, a pump fake. That one is short.
Step through move. Ball tipped around. Medvedenko grabbed it. He was out of bounds. Here comes Brian Cook off the glass. That's a wild shot. On the rebound, Abdur-Rahim. Back and forth we go. Up ahead, Darius. Stoudemire for 3. No. Blazers were shooting 53% at halftime.
Well,
Walton for 3.
That's what I'm telling you. I mean, the ball is not going in it either into the floor. This is a very low-scoring period for both teams. Kobe gets the foul against Quintel Woods.
Dan Dickau will check in after the break for Portland.
Just went down to the Laker locker room to check on Big Karl Malone. That right ankle sprain, moderate, the doctors are telling us, won't return. Obviously, his status for the playoffs not known by a long shot. Also, Devin George. Devin George will not play the rest of the game either with a left calf sprain. So those two guys both on the shelf for the remainder of tonight's contest, guys.
Thanks, Annie.
And if you're a team that's moving on, you don't want to have those kinds of reports. So, George Wash, you want Kobe to sign those and add them to your collection for your 50th year. See if we can get that to happen.
Lakers cut it to 6 as Kobe makes a pair. Dan Dickau in the game for Portland along with Quintel Woods up front. Abdur-Rahim and Miles, the forwards. Ratliff inside at center.
Well, they go into a zone. And Quintel Woods had that one slapped back by Shaq.
Kobe gets Quintel in the air and hits.
It is a 9-8 quarter, and the Lakers are back to within 4, 59-55.
The cutter is Miles. Baseline, he jams it right over Brian Cook.
That's the best way to beat a zone. Get the ball in the middle. Look for somebody cutting. And that's one of the first times we've seen that happen for Portland the entire season. You think it's taken them that long to get?
Maybe. Kobe starting to heat up.
He's got attitude. You know, like all those people booing him. He's got 3 in a row.
Should be used to it by now. Sharif Abdur-Rahim, a deep 2 is good. Kareem Rush with the ball for the Lakers. Here's Kobe against Miles. They bring the double. Lakers swing it to a wide open Derek Fisher for 3 as he is off with that. Derek Fisher normally will cash that in, but just 29% on the year from beyond the arc, has not dialed it in oftentimes this season. Dick Allen, Abdur-Rahim working the 2-man game. What a pass! Ratliff jams it home. Dick Allen, a beautiful assist. Back in the game as Portland stretched it back to 8. Bryant for 3. Ratliff pulls down the board. Blazers push ahead. They've got numbers. Quintel Woods fouled hard by Kobe. Q will shoot free throws.
Now, the one thing that Ratliff does well on plays like this is move the ball around so he can get it over any kind of defender, puts it right on the outside and throws it down. Miles on the baseline. Just extends. Miles out of the ball game now, and Travis Outlaw returns. Quintel Woods at the line.
There is Travis, the youngster. As Quintel makes 1 of 2, the second one much prettier than the first. Blazer lead back to 9. Their biggest lead tonight has been 10, but it stayed somewhere between 9 and 3 or 4 most of the ball game.
Dale Davis is the only Trailblazer yet to score. He's back in the ball game. Brian Cook in the ball game and gets his first 2.
The rookie out of Illinois.
I think Brian Cook was a heck of a pickup for them, and eventually you're going to see him as a terrific player.
As Shaq picked the pocket of Dan Dickau, they got it ahead to Fisher, but did not have enough time to get a shot off. And the Blazers will head to the final quarter looking for the season series win over the Lakers here tonight. Portland by 7. You're watching the Blazers Television Network. Possession, you take a look at score by quarters as Portland.
You know what that number tells us? There were more rebounds than points scored. Portland had 16 rebounds, and the Lakers had 17, and that's 33 rebounds against 30 points. A very low-scoring quarter. The Lakers shoot 22%, and Portland shoots 27%.
A lot of these Blazer youngsters who have played tonight, Travis Outlaw, Desmond Ferguson, and they have not forgotten Denver. Bryant pulls it up over DA and hits. A lot of young Portland players, as I was saying, have had to guard Kobe Bryant, as you saw Travis Outlaw with the initial foul on Kobe.
Well, the bad news is they've got Kobe awake now, and you know, he's intent on doing some damage on that scoreboard. He's sticking it with some regularity. He started in the 3rd quarter, opens up the 4th.
Abdur-Rahim working his way to the rack, still can't buy a call, but does get the roll this time. Shaq against Dale Davis, right block, back to Kareem Rush. Gonna go down low and work with Bryant on DA. Hits again. You better look out. Kobe's got 23.
Now he turned the engine on full blast now. So you're going to have to play against Kobe Bryant.
Dickow back to Abdul Rahim. Dickow for three up top. No, back iron as he thought he had it. Started to backpedal. Medvedenko the board for LA. Ryan skips the pass to Fisher. Shaq's very deep and rolls it in. 16 for Shaq.
One thing that Shaq does in that case, a lot of times you think he's going to explode up and he just quicks it off the glass. You can't even react because he's leaning on you so hard. And that's what happened to Dale Davis. 3-point game.
And Durahim against Medvedenko again. Powers his way inside and doesn't get the roll. Rebound Shaq as he came to help. Lakers out one-on-one. Here comes Kobe to help. And Travis Outlaw takes it away from Medvedenko, who fouls Outlaw. Good hustle by the rookie.
Medvedenko doesn't think there's anybody behind him, and as soon as he turns, he opens the ball up to the hustling Outlaw. Outlaw and Rahim go out. Randolph and Patterson in. 9:34 to go in the fourth.
And the Blazers have done a nice job in this game tonight, playing with a lot of units that don't obviously see much time.
Well, you know, their lead would probably be bigger. They've had a lot of shots that have been in and out, right on the rim, didn't stay. The same thing could be said for the Lakers. Dale Davis trying to get on the scoreboard.
Now all the Blazers have scored, and a nice little look inside by Zach, who had Dale coming on the backside. Lead back to 5 for Portland. Here's Kobe. Now Patterson's got a piece of him, and a foul called way away from the hoop on Patterson. That's Ruben's third. Ruben has played about 7 minutes in this game and now has 3 fouls, and he's telling the bench, I'm all right.
Well, I can use them all. That's what he's telling them. You know, when I use them all, let me out. Kobe wide open. Bad thing to do.
Short. Medvedenko tip, not good. Patterson yanks down the rebound. Ruben is knocked to the floor then by Medvedenko. Flips it up, missed the shot. Rebound off of LA. Foul inside. Dale Davis on Shaquille O'Neal.
Well, she couldn't take it back. She already let it out.
I don't think that's any secret. Ball tipped out of bounds by Patterson, intended for Kobe. 13 to shoot. Shaq setting up shop down low. They're looking directly into him as Dale Davis has that matchup. Here's Kobe baseline against Patterson. Difficult shot. Patterson in his face, and they call a foul, and Patterson's going to get a tee here. Ruben better be careful. He didn't want to get tossed out here.
There's some 5. And there's some old memories between these two. And Kobe thought he had him with the pump fake, and Ruben goes right up and gets that one, and had a right to complain.
Bryant makes the technical. Now will shoot 2 free throws.
Kobe Bryant shooting 2.
Gary Payton checks back in for the Lakers. Kareem Rush will sit down.
You know, Cheek is over there saying, you know, call all the fouls. If you're going to call that when you got to call it when he got pushed on the floor and they didn't get a whistle, call them all. Don't be selective. Kind of like your memory.
1 of 2 for Kobe, so a 2-point trip for the Lakers. 3-point game.
Well, Bryant has scored all of their points here in the quarter, with the exception of the 2 that O'Neal threw up. So it's an 8-4 quarter in favor of the Lakers.
Derek Anderson tried to leave it for Ruben, out of bounds off of Shaq, so Portland will have it with 6 to shoot. Lakers lobbying. for that basketball, but not going to happen.
Well, let's look at see if Zach Randolph can get himself re-involved in this ballgame at the offensive end. Anderson.
Gary Payton's hand right in his face. And that never seems to bother D.A. when he's shooting well.
Well, that's true of all guys that are shooting. If you're shooting well, it doesn't make any difference what the defense does. It's when you're struggling. Watch out.
Shaq scores and he's fouled as Zach was left with him as Dale Davis went out to double. He and Patterson had Kobe Bryant out top. That left Shaq alone. Zach tried to help from the backside. Zach's got 3 fouls.
Once he gets the ball this deep, you're just in trouble. You're either going to grab him before he goes up and never let him get his hands above his head, or that's going to happen and he has a chance for a three-point play.
Shaq 0 for 3 at the foul line.
Going to get another one. Zach Randolph in too soon. Shaq drew him off with the hesitation. Watch the hesitation. He's well, and the ball has never left his hand.
And Medvedenko's in there with him.
You know, after 50 years, George Wash finally got that right. It's amazing what time can do for you.
Same result. And this time, Zach the rebound. Again, Zach with 11 rebounds in the game now, still with the 9 points. Dickow being hounded out top by Fisher. Here's Zach against Medvedenko. Going to square up and spin to the hoop, and Medvedenko blocked the shot, but a foul called down low, a little body, as Theo Ratliff and Damon Stoudemire will check back in. 4 fouls on Medvedenko.
Now notice that now we're into winning time. Phil Jackson is not shuttling his players in nearly as much as he was early in the ball game. Dale Davis goes out, Dan Dickow out, and Theo Ratliff and Damon Stoudemire back in. But Jackson is trying to snatch this one from the Trailblazers, very quietly letting his stars take over the game, Kobe Bryant and Shaquille O'Neal.
Blazers and Lakers have split the season series the last 6 seasons. The Blazers, of course, broke through down in Los Angeles last Tuesday and can win the season series with a victory here tonight.
Another double-double for Zach Randolph.
Number 43 of the season. Five-point Blazer lead. Here's Bryant. Same play. Bryant lost the dribble. Zach playing good defense along with Patterson. Zebo trying to run the break. Shot blocked from behind by Kobe, and he takes it. Medvedenko baseline jumper.
The best thing about him, every time he gets a play next year, he can do better.
3-point ball game. Both teams have kicked it up a notch intensity-wise. You can feel that as Ratliff has the top of the key. Zach working against Medvedenko. Karl Malone not in the game. The cutter is D.A. Wild shot off. Patterson, the offensive board, threw it away. Fisher, shot blocked by Ratliff. Shaq gets it back. And a foul called up top on Zach Randolph. That's going to be his 4th.
Now the Trailblazers in the penalty, so Shaq will go to the line and shoot a pair.
Shaq 0 for 3 tonight at the free throw line. 0 for 4 if you want to get technical. One didn't count if it was a lane violation. Shaq 18 points, 11 rebounds tonight. Everybody in early on that one. Doesn't matter if Shaq makes it. 2-point ball game. This game has never been tied. The Lakers have never led.
Shaq with 5 in the quarter, Kobe with 6. They lead the Lakers scoring. Portland's trying to get Zach Randolph re-involved in the game offensively. Medvedenko fighting him all the way. That one stays.
Zach with 13 now. Medvedenko left open, goes to the rack and jams as Zach gambled and went for the steal, and that left nobody home on the backside.
You know, Theo Ratliff cannot patrol the lane like he normally would. He's got to stay home with Zach and with Shaq, and as soon as Zach gambled, that was going to be an easy two.
DA for three. Yes, sir, up top. Anderson's first three-point attempt tonight, and he nails it. Two-man game. Now Zach switched on to Bryant. Now they get it back, and Kobe thought about trying to get that right back. Here's Shaq too low against Ratliff. Theo backed off. Shaq missed the shot, and now we'll go to the free throw line as Damon got ripped in the head.
Well, he pushed Shaq in his face, and that's the price you pay for trying to come over and help. But he jumped up there trying to get to Shaq's arm. I watched Damon come flying in there. Caught an elbow. And, you know, they have two of the more physical offensive players to ever play in Shaq and Karl Malone, and it's always elbows out, and you're going to get caught. So this is your first lesson down at the Y. You don't play defense with your face.
You don't play defense at all.
Oh, now the truth comes out. Damon says he's okay and will remain in the game.
Shaq misses a pair. Medvedenko, the offensive board. Ratliff blocked the shot. Ball loose, and a loose ball foul going to be against, I believe, Medvedenko.
Medvedenko might have 10 offensive rebounds, so I mean, he has really been active on the glass. He thought he had the first, and on the putback, got that one slapped away by Theo Ratliff. Just enough to get it. It goes up, gathers just a fingernail block.
That, I believe, is Theo Ratliff's third block shot of the game. He had 4 last Tuesday against this Laker team.
What's amazing about Theo is his quickness on the jump. I mean, you can get the ball away, and he can still get a piece of it, and there was a clear example there. 4 on the shot clock for Stoudemire.
Damon had it stripped away by Fisher. Lakers looking to push. Damon tried to steal it back and fouled Fisher, and this will be free throws now for Fisher, who is a pretty darn good free throw shooter at 80%.
Well, a little attitude by Damon. He was not happy that that one was taken away by Fisher, trying to come back, let him know it. Had no chance to get the ball.
Fisher's first trip to the free throw line tonight. Lakers 9 for 16 in the game. I said Ratliff a moment ago has 3 blocks. He actually has 4.
So Fisher scores for the first time in the 4th.
Ratliff about to clinch his 3rd block shot title in the NBA. He now has 140 blocks in 31 games for Portland. Make it 32 games. 306 blocks on the year. The first player since Dikembe Mutombo in 94-95 to record 300 blocks for a season.
Coming back to Zach Randolph against Medvedenko.
Patterson the cutter. Zach saw him too late. Medvedenko pokes it away. Shaq leaning on Ratliff. Payton for 3. First tie of the game. Portland wants time. 22nd timeout as Gary Payton hit a killer 3 in the one game the Lakers won against Portland this year. Down in LA in the corner with about 3 minutes left.
And there's always a danger whenever you give double team help that someone in purple and gold is going to knock down a shot, and this time it's Gary Payton. You know, you're almost better off dealing with Shaq and maybe trying to put him on the free throw line than to let other people get involved in the game. And now the Lakers are even. So we start new.
Lakers 3 for 16 tonight from behind the three-point line.
Let's see if they can settle Zach Randolph down. Now, on that fast break that happened, there was some sparks flying between himself and Ruben Patterson, and as a result, he has been a little shaken and not really looking to score the ball. And at this point in the game, they need Zach to think about scoring and less about passing. See, now the game becomes something because Jackson is up off the bench, barking to Payton. Watch out, watch out.
DA with Payton all over him. Anderson, a difficult two, hit it. How does he do it time and time again with a hand in the face?
7 in the quarter for Derek Anderson, 2-point ball game.
The double Kobe, Medvedenko gets doubled over. Shaq. Kobe for 3. Lakers lead.
It's a bad thing to do. 9 in the quarter for Bryant.
28 in the game.
But they know the ball is going to come into Shaq. Shaq is not making free throws, so keep the heat on Shaq.
DA for 3. No, it rims out. Rebound Randolph. Randolph against Medvedenko. Anderson down the middle. Tried to hand to Ratliff and does, and he jams.
So for the fans, they're involved now in a 1-point ball game, 2:32 to go in the fourth.
Same play, Bryant out top. Down low, Medvedenko fouled before the shot, but it'll be free throws anyway, as the foul will go against Derek Anderson. So when we come back, Slava Medvedenko to win here tonight, and Sacramento loses.
That was
The
the
Lakers
final.
clinch the Pacific Division title.
Start of the fourth, sorry.
Which means the difference between home court in the second round. They'd be the number 2 seed, of course, if they win tonight and Sacramento loses. So a lot riding on this outcome for the Lakers.
Medvedenko has not been able to make a lot of shots tonight, but he's done terrific work on the glass. Gets a pair of free throws, 6 1/4, 1-point game. Lakers on top.
Payton hounding DA. Stoudemire out to get it. Trying to set up down low. Zach swings far side. Lakers have turned up the heat defensively. Anderson again. Yes! 15 for DA.
So he matches the Bryant number of 9 in the quarter. Portland with the 1-point advantage, 85-84. 1:50 to go.
Kobe sizing up Patterson. Good defense by Rubin. Shot short by Kobe. Rebound Randolph. Great defense by Ruben Patterson.
Kobe Bryant decided, I'm going to come out. I'm going to deal with Anderson. And they did not get a score. Zach might have gotten bumped by Shaq, but no call.
Kobe's got DA on him this time. Ruben hanging around to help. Now brings the help. Kobe traveled with the ball. Absolutely. Portland ball.
You get this extra step, but the competitive juices are flowing for Kobe Bryant, and trying to regain his balance is where he traveled.
Blazers by 1. 1:15 left, trying to win the season series from the Lakers.
Be known as Blazer Broadcasting. Look at the field goal percentages for the quarter. Both teams playing with a great deal more intensity and having greater success in making shots.
DA again, tough. 2, he hit it again. They can't stop him. Crowd on its feet.
You know, Kobe Bryant knows that he wants to answer. Ruben Patterson in him.
Kobe clobbered at the rack. He'll shoot 2 free throws. Comes up holding his back. But Anderson.
Well, the glove was all over him, and Anderson, when he got the stroke going, that little fade is almost automatic for him, and it's been strong for him here in the fourth. 11 points in the fourth. Kobe Bryant at the line with a pair trying to match that quarter total. Bryant has 28 in the ball game, 9 here in the fourth.
5 for 7 at the free throw line tonight. 5 for 8 at the free throw line tonight.
He cannot believe he missed that one.
Lakers have lost 6 in a row here at the Rose Garden.
Rose Garden starting to bounce. Short with that.
Missed them both. Fans in Sacramento, we know you're watching and pulling for the Trailblazers right now. You want that Pacific Division title as Anderson is fouled out top. Foul's going to go on Gary Payton.
The first in the last 2 minutes, but Payton trying to smother. He's not going to let him catch the ball, but on the turn, knocks him over. 14 on the shot clock. And the next foul will put Portland at the line as the hot hand, Derek Anderson, handles the ball. 10 on the clock.
One of the best backcourt defenders has been on him throughout it all, but hasn't bothered D.A. Damon for 3. No. Rebound. Shaq inside. It was online and just short for Stoudemire.
You got a three-point advantage, and you got to make sure that Bryant does not go for 3, which he's known to do right here. Pick and roll.
Off. Rebound. Grab by Randolph. Help to Patterson.
Kobe was not going to let Ruben Patterson throw that down.
Listen to the crowd.
Well, it's a familiar chant as Ruben Patterson goes to the line, and he's got to get one of these to ensure a 2-possession game for Portland.
David Stoudemire fighting the crowd.
Well, they're trying to get him to let, Ruben is, iffy at best.
Missed them both. Timeout Lakers, 8 seconds left. Patterson can't believe it. We'll keep it here. A chance to essentially ice the game. The Lakers tonight, 4 of 17, make it 4 of 18 from behind the 3-point line.
So what's your situation? You've got a 3-point lead, 8 seconds left on the clock. Possession is everything. Are you going to play the possession game, or are you going to let Kobe Bryant look at another 3?
We've seen this situation so many times this season.
And Portland just had a taste of what happens on the negative when you don't get a good call in Denver. They played for the foul, and they ended up giving it to them. But I think Portland should come out and foul and put the pressure on the Lakers to come back and try to make free throws.
And the reminder of that game you were talking about. And of course, it bit Portland down in Sacramento earlier this season in a game the Blazers still won. Blazers won the season series from the Kings. They were the only NBA team to win the season series from Minnesota. And with a win here tonight, can win the season series with the Lakers. The problem has been, as we've talked about a lot this season, teams under 500. They've always stepped the game up.
Bryant has been a heartbreaker in this building, making 3-point shots. And you don't want to give them a chance to get one in the air. The best thing you can do is when the ball comes in, put Shaquille O'Neal on the line.
Crowd on its feet. Boy, the crowd has been just fantastic here tonight. You would never know that this team is not headed for the playoffs. Payton. Bryant out top against Patterson. Kobe cannot get Patterson in the air. A wild three. Hit it. Just when you think the basketball gods can't get any crueler.
No, I've told you before, this is not the guy you want to let shoot the shot in this building. It seems to be home for him. And with one left, Kobe Bryant ties the ball game up as only Kobe Bryant can do.
Blazers will inbound.
Laker fans, they get a little juice now when the game could have been over. Patterson makes 1 or 2 free throws, and you can see the nostrils flaring on a very competitive Kobe Bryant. You know, a lot of times people like to make comparison between great players. If there's anything that's comparable in Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, it's a competitive spirit. They don't like to lose, and when there's a chance to win, they want the ball, and they want to see if they can make the difference.
Dan Dickau will check in for Portland. Derek Anderson, of course, has had the hot hand. DA 17 points in the game to lead Portland scores.
Well, the Lakers know this is a catch-and-shoot situation, so they're going to make sure that who's ever passing the ball in doesn't have a clean look, and then they're going to be up on everybody with the instructions, don't foul.
Derek Anderson will do the inbounding and probably look to get it right back.
Not going to have that much time unless he's going to the bucket.
Zach turns, didn't get it off. Didn't get it off. It's not going to count. Portland will play its 11th overtime game of the season when we come back.
Zach is being guarded by Shaquille O'Neal. He's got to think about driving the ball to the bucket. He can go by that big guy anytime. Went the wrong way.
Shaq deep this time.
When he comes with that forearm, there's nothing you can do because you're going to get that elbow. And Theo Ratliff cannot get in there to get you the shot. Shaq starts the overtime to score for Lakers.
This is the Lakers' largest lead of the game.
Now the ball has to move a lot quicker as Damon drives down the lane so that you don't end up playing the overtime at the Laker pace.
Medvedenko floats it up over the top of Ratliff. Record for overtime games in a season. Nobody in the NBA has played as many overtime games this year as Portland.
All right, now Portland has to re-energize themselves here in the final 3:24. The fans were up, they were in the building, and our seats were shaken. And the Lakers have quieted things down with 2 early buckets. One from O'Neal, the other from Medvedenko.
Zach going against Shaq again. High arcing left-handed hook is in.
Well, he went the right way that time. Instead of going to his right, he came to his left and was able to get into the lane for the score. Been running this play the entire 4th quarter, and that set up Medvedenko to get a lot of offensive rebounds. Shaq right on side. Too deep, and right now they're trying to center the ball every time to Shaquille O'Neal. They go away and then come in, and Theo Ratliff is having a tough time keeping them out of the lane. Zach again.
Zach, by the way, when he hit that 15-point mark just a moment ago, ensured that he will indeed average 20 points on the season and become the first Blazer since 81-82 to average 20 points and 10 rebounds.
Well, this is a big possession for him, and they're going to come back into Shaq, and you got to make him give the ball up. Ratliff fouls.
Darius Miles will check in for Portland.
his third.
3 fouls on Ratliff. Ruben Patterson will sit down. This to give Portland a little more of an offensive punch. Ruben not agreeing.
Well, he's not happy. I mean, you know, he's unhappy for two things. One, he missed a free throw. Secondly, you know, he wants to be in this game to make sure that Kobe doesn't have any say in the OT. But as Kobe can prove, it doesn't make any difference who's guarding him. He can make shots.
Medvedenko has been an enormous part of this Laker effort here tonight, with Karl Malone out with an ankle injury. Payton for 3. That's long. Rebound Darius. 2-point game, 2 minutes to play.
Long and wide. And again, in overtime, you want to quicken the pace of the game. Fisher's a very good on-the-ball defender, and that will leave Portland struggling to get a shot in close. And this should come right to Zach, and Zach's got to go.
Zach gets inside, ball slapped away. Zach got it back, 5 to shoot. DA for 3. Rebound, Randolph had it. Stoudemire's got it. Damon for 3. Yes, sir! 1-2, they say. Not 3. Foot on the line. We're tied. Kobe. Fisher, open 3. Back iron. Rebound, Miles.
They come to Zach early, but there are too many Lakers in the lane for Zach to really do anything. Wants it back.
Zebo, tough 2. Good! Zach with 19.
They're running the same play, pick and roll, and they're going to go to Bryant, let him try to make a play, and the Lakers are going to try to rebound. Bryant in the lane.
Shaq.
And this is what happens out on the playground. Pride becomes a big factor. The Lakers do not want to lose this ball game, and Kobe Bryant clears the way for Shaq, and they have tied the game at 95. Now there is a 5-second differential between shot clock and game. So now how Portland manages this possession will be critical to whether they win or lose.
1 for 8 for Shaq at the free throw line. Here's Zach. He's been red hot.
Well, he's got 7 seconds on the clock. He should be coming to the middle. He goes the other way.
Ball slapped away. 1 to shoot for Portland. 6.6 on the game clock. DA. They lob it up. Ratliff is fouled. He'll shoot free throws. And Theo is down. Shaq has 5 fouls.
Well, this is before the ball is in play. The ball comes in, and Shaq knocks him off the pass.
Dangerous.
Tough fall for Theo Ratliff, but it should be a shooter. The last time the Trailblazers were at the free throw line, they're calling a loose ball foul.
Foul on the floor, non-shooting foul. Lakers in the last 2 minutes.
Well, the Blazers will get the final 6 seconds of the ball game.
One second remains on the clock, but the shot clock should be off now.
Well, any foul, you got to reset the clock. Shaq fouls and the ball is not in play. They call a loose ball foul, but no one touched that play.
Now the shot clock has been shut off.
It should have been a violation. Portland should be shooting 2 free throws. Can't be a loose ball foul until somebody touches the ball. somehow Theo Ratliff never got a fingernail on that one. Well,
Fans are certainly feeling like Portland's been given the short end of the stick on a couple of occasions this season.
well,
And late especially.
best thing in this situation, they have the ball back, 6.6 seconds. They can finish the game themselves. So they will at least have one more opportunity to get a shot and win the game and close the Lakers out. So I think you have to just forget about the fact that you're not getting the calls and try to figure out how to win the game.
What a ball game it has been here tonight on Fan Appreciation Night. And George Wash, our executive producer director, is having to work a little overtime his darn self here tonight. 6.6 left in the first overtime.
He may go for another 5-minute session. Dickau in the ball game along with Ratliff, Randolph, Stoudemire, and Derek Anderson. Most important play for Portland is the inbound pass. Make sure you get the ball in.
Ratliff. Theo falling down, throws it up, no call. Ball loose. Lakers want time, no timeout.
Now the Lakers are going bananas because they think they should get some time left on the clock.
Now the officials are going to discuss. And if I were a betting man, I'd say they're going to get their way.
1, 2, 3. O'Neal knocks it down. The ball is bouncing around. No Lakers have control yet. So when Kobe gets it, if you get any time, it's 1/2 of a second.
Timeout. Lakers.
They're going to give them 0.4 of a second. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Well, Kobe is going to get to the ball, and as you watch the clock tick down, it's about, well, it's 0.3 right there. It's 4. He's right in his face, so it's pretty close. That must be digital. It's amazing how they can do that. Well, if the game meant nothing a couple hours ago, it means a lot right now. Sacramento losing at the present time to the Golden State Warriors, and they lost, so they are sitting there hoping that Portland can save them.
And it means the difference between a number 2 or a number 4 seed in the Western Conference playoffs, which can be huge. And of course, the Houston Rockets sitting at number 7 take on either the Kings or the Lakers.
The situation is this: the Lakers can get a legal shot away. What you want to guard for is a lob to Shaq or Kobe, catching and just turning in the air and throwing it up. Make sure you don't foul anybody. And the way the whistles have been going, you better make sure you're a long way away. Trying to stay in front of Shaq.
Double overtime. We'll take the break.
They look inside.
Fisher off with the shot. Rebound, Zach Randolph. His 18th board.
Well, there have been enough missed shots to where he could have 18. So it might be a 20-20 night for Zach before it's all said and done.
We do first to 20 in rebounds or just points?
Well, we may have to do both.
They throw it away. Fisher out top. Ratliff trailing. Fisher runs into Ratliff and a foul called. The foul was called before contact was even made, but it'll send Fisher to the free throw line for 2.
He knows that Ratliff is there, and he's going to come into him. And Theo is saying, when do I get a break?
Fisher 2 for 2 at the line in the game. There's the foul trouble. Medvedenko and Shaquille O'Neal both with 5. Kobe with 4. For Portland, you see Ruben Patterson and Zach Randolph each with 4 fouls, along with Theo Ratliff. Shaq gets to 5. It's quite often, but doesn't often get the 6th.
You got to continue to go at Shaq, and now he's back on Theo Ratliff, so it's not likely to happen. But Portland's got to get a little bit closer with their offense. It's that they're starting almost at mid-court, trying to set up.
Here's Zach against Medvedenko. Shaq comes to help. Zach still with it. Ball knocked away. 3 to shoot. 1 to shoot. Short. Shot clock violation. And Maurice Cheeks is really hot on the Blazers sideline.
Now he's upset with the officiating, thinking his team is not getting a fair break, and Jackson is up calling the play. What they like to do is go away from Shaq and Kobe and then come back.
Here's Payton. Goes baseline. Medvedenko fakes the pass. Kobe's got it. All the way to the rack. Shot blocked by Ratliff.
Portland's got to go with early offense. They can't wait to set up, because when Shaq gets back in there, they're taking that shot away.
Damon weaving his way through the middle. 10 to shoot. They skip it far side to DA. Ball taken away by Fisher, taken back by Damon. Stoudemire's then knocked to the floor, and that's going to be 6 on Shaq. He's gone.
On a broken play where the ball is stolen and restolen, and Shaq gives him that little trip. It doesn't take much of that big foot to get in the way, and he got caught.
And even then, it took Damon pointing and rolling over on his back before the 6th would come, but it finally did. Brian Cook going to check in.
Kobe Bryant hung out and trying to get to the rim, laying out, and a bad thing to do against Theo Ratliff.
5 blocks for Theo in this game. 307 on the season. The NBA's leader.
Now, you've got no Shaq in the ball game, so you got to be aggressive and trying to get the ball inside, and Zach has got to think about going inside.
Up and under move. Good defense by Medvedenko. Better shot by Randolph. We're tied again.
Now this ball is going to be in the hands of Kobe Bryant. And you got to do something to make him pass the ball, because he's going to be thinking about scoring. If he gives it up, he's going to want it back. 9 on the clock.
Kobe gets Miles short. Rebound DA. He and Miles have 2-on-1. Knocked out of bounds. Portland ball as it's knocked out of bounds out of Darius's hands.
Well, his arm was hit. Phil Jackson is incredulous and can't believe, I'm not getting that call? Got everything else.
Can't get them all. Well, Zach Randolph, the first of 20 tonight. He has 21. So Sarah Hawkins of Gladstone, who had picked Darius Miles, and it was a good pick for a while. Darius has 16, but it's Zach Randolph tonight. So we're sorry, no money given out tonight.
The game wore on, and Zach got into it, trying to come across the middle, a doubler.
Zach, baseline, fade, no, tip, yes, by Ratliff. No, they wave it off. This has been their largest lead of the ball game.
It's been an exciting fourth quarter double overtime session so far tonight, and the fans, they have been up and they have been on the officials. So let's see how the final 2 minutes play out. Again, the player for LA is going to be Kobe Bryant. You've got to make sure that he is not taking a quality shot. He'll make some tough shots.
Fisher thought about the 3. Kobe wide open for 3.
Too much time. He didn't want to take it, and then decided, why not? Now, Portland doesn't have to answer with the 3, but they need to answer with the 2, and they got to move that ball via the air. Fisher is giving Damon Stoudemire fits.
Damon for 3 to get it back. Yes, sir! Crowd on its feet again. Kobe to Brian Cook. What a find by Bryant.
Well, there are 3 people guarding Kobe Bryant. Someone's going to be open, and Cook is right at the rim. Trying to get to Zach.
Damon a tough 2. Miles trying to fight for the board. It's loose on the floor. Portland ball as Cook is on the baseline. Blazers want timeout. Zach trying to dig it out.
Cook is finally on it, but in calling timeout, he's out of bounds.
We'll keep it here. 51.8 seconds left. Blazer ball with a new shot clock. Again, the ramifications of this game tonight. Lakers win. They win the Pacific Division.
Again, Kobe wide open, thinks about it. And then Damon, he wants it back badly. And he's going to answer. And both of them surprisingly got wide open opportunities. And then it was Kobe breaking the tie with a pass to Cook.
Second overtime. Blazers trying to win the season series from the Lakers for the first time since 96-97. Lakers, again, as I've said several times tonight, has lost 6 in a row in Portland.
Well, they're trying to remove the fan that's right behind us, and he's not sure why, but he's got to come out.
Well, I know why. Because he has been just all over. He's a Laker fan who's been giving the Blazer fans in front of him a tough time, and finally it got a little bit out of hand. So I do believe they'll be watching you and I do this one from the concourse.
All right, with this possession, what Portland's got to do is move the ball a little bit quicker. They want to be more decisive in getting into the play. As long as they've held it, the Lakers have done a good job defensively.
New shot clock. Darius Miles against Kobe.
They were looking inside for Damon. Doesn't look like they know what they want to run. 9 on the clock.
Damon takes a tough 2. Yes, sir, over Cook. Not the way it was drawn up. But the broken play works again, and Damon having a big overtime session.
Well, again, you're coming down to the guy that they know is going to have the ball in their hands, and you got to make sure that he does not get a quality shot, and he doesn't find someone wide open. He will pass the ball, so you got to stay in front of Kobe Bryant.
Tough 2 over Darius. Long, good defense by Miles. Blazers going to go. 5 seconds left. Stoudemire lays it in with 2.3 to go. Timeout Lakers. Stoudemire, 13 points in the game. 7 straight points by Damon in the last minute 22. a situation again where the Lakers now, we saw them at the end of regulation go to Kobe Bryant and isolate him. Not the same kind of time on the clock to be able to do that. What do they do here?
Well, they're going to get the ball to Kobe. Kobe can make his own way. He can elevate, he can get in the air, and he can get his shot away. So you just got to make sure that you have pressure on the passer and pressure on Bryant. Don't let Medvedenko, Cook, or anybody else slip free. That's it.
Fisher throws it up. Are they going to call a foul here? Foul on the floor, so a foul to give for Portland.
The ball comes in and it pops loose.
1 second on the game clock.
There's a collision, and they're going to say that
So non-shooting foul with 1 second left.
First and the last 2 minutes.
Fisher looks like he took a pretty good hit. He's limping right now.
Lakers want timeout.
What time did this game start?
7:05.
Does anybody have the time now? We may be going till 12.
It's almost a 3-hour game as it stands now.
So there's 1 second left on the game clock. Another catch and shoot situation for the Lakers.
They don't have Shaq in there to lob it up inside for a tip.
Somebody gets back to it, you got to switch.
Still want to take away that pass in the corner?
Take it away.
Hey, watch Claire screen and step out. Claire, step out, shot.
Enough drama for Derek Anderson to smile. Paul Allen has not been able to sit down in the last 3 minutes.
By the way, just like the old days with George Wash heading inside the huddle, the first executive producer director to have a handheld camera and take it inside the huddle. We relive it here tonight in double overtime.
Well, again, you can't make a mistake on anybody else. You know what the Lakers are going to do. They bring Kareem Rush in. He's also a great three-point shooter in a catch-and-shoot situation. You've got to guard everybody and make the shot come from the outside.
You got Kobe now, all right?
I think it's that New York, they run the same thing. They go to extra 2 big guys and come down for Kobe.
There's only one guy.
This one right here.
You want to switch out or not?
When we come here first, then come out.
That's when you talk about. You got to watch. That's Kobe coming up off that last big guy. You got to watch the slip.
Hey.
Going direct right in the middle.
This is a big guy, right? That's what it is.
That's the story.
Brian Cook, who can step back and then shoot it.
Okay.
No, get through it. No, don't switch it. Let him get over.
Okay.
Cover this first, right? Again.
What's that?
Cover that first.
I know it is. Cover the end.
Cover that. Then come that top.
We have no timeout.
You got no timeout. What? Stay down. Stay down.
Neither team has a timeout left. There's another rare look inside the huddle. And you heard Maurice Cheek say, don't switch the pick out top, fight over it.
Well, switching is what creates opportunities for other people to get shots. You want to stay at home on everybody. You know this is a catch-and-shoot situation. Just make sure that that shot comes up under pressure. If he makes it, he makes it.
Payton to inbound. Bryant for 3.
Second, a catch-and-shoot situation, they got confused. They switched. Bryant was able to catch that ball cleanly. Theo Ratliff comes running out. It's a good shot.
No way this will be overturned. And the Lakers have won the Pacific Division title. The Sacramento Kings move down to the number 4 seed in the West. The Lakers will take the 2nd seed and take on the Houston Rockets on Saturday in the first round of the playoffs. 105-104, the Lakers get the victory. They split the season series for the 7th straight year.